The first thing is that you have to be relevant in the industry. So whatever you're going to choose, you have to be relevant in the industry. That is, for example, if you're working on a technology which is a proprietary technology which is not found outside, you'll be having difficulty in getting another job. I would always suggest reflect upon what is the technologies that you're currently working. What are your strengths? What is it that you know? Do you know backend development? Do you know Java? Do you know Python? Or do you know JavaScript? What is it that you know? Do you know web development, HTML, CSS? Or do you know, are you good at DevOps, like kind of creating servers, AWS cloud? What is your interest? What is your passion? There are a lot of avenues in IT. You can select any one of them. You can become a full stack developer, or you can choose to become a data engineer. If you want to become a full stack developer, the path that you have to take is you have to learn a backend and a front end, and you have to learn the cloud technologies. These are three things that you need to know if you want to be a full stack developer. If you want to be a DevOps engineer, you must learn continuous integration tools like Jenkins, and you should know Docker, and you should know Ansible, you should know Kubernetes, and things like that. It's on the other side. So if you want to be like data engineer, you should learn SQL very well. You should learn Tableau, or you should learn Oracle BI. Okay, that's the thing. So depending upon what is it that you want to become, you have to choose the learning path. The first thing that I said was you must see what is the relevance of your skill in the industry. How do you check the relevance of your skill in the industry? It's very simple. Just go to Google and search for jobs. I mean, how many jobs is Naukri.com having? How many jobs is LinkedIn jobs showing? And just go through the each job description. When you go through the job description, you will see the technology names. You will also see what is expected that you learn, you should know. So you may be having in your picture that this is what I must know. But when you actually see the job descriptions, if you study some 10 job descriptions, you'll get a clear idea that this is the industry expectation. So for example, if you're going to search for a Java job, you're going to inevitably find Spring in all of them. So that means that the industry expects that if you're a Java developer, you must know Spring Boot. That's an example. Based on that, you have to understand what is the skills that the industry is expecting. Based on that, you have to learn all those skills. Let's go to the secret number 2. You have to have practical experience on your resume. So the interviewer is getting to know that you know these skills: skill 1, skill 2, skill 3, skill 4. Okay, and then you are listing where you have practically applied these skills. The job of the interviewer is to ensure that whatever you have claimed that you know is that you actually know what you have claimed to be knowing. So that's the job of the interviewer. The point is that you must have some project experience. If you want to get into full stack development, for example, let's say you're applying for a company and then saying I want to become a full stack developer. First thing is you should have the skill. Second thing is you have to have the relevant experience. Now that's like a chicken and egg problem, because how are you going to have experience if you don't get a job? It's normal that people may not have relevant experience, but then as soon as you reveal that you don't have any relevant experience, then your chances of elimination are very high. They may not even call you for the interview. Having said that, I don't encourage that you should fake your experience or expertise. What you could probably do, I can give you some suggestions. What you can do is you can work on some projects. You can work on some projects. And you can work on some projects. There are so many projects that you can build by yourself, and you can create a portfolio for yourself. Create a GitHub account and put you in the repositories, and create a portfolio for yourself and put all those projects on your resume and do some interesting projects. And when you're choosing a project, don't do some toy projects. Do some interesting projects like related to the domain. So for example, if you're going to apply for an e-commerce domain, so it's better that you do some projects related to e-commerce. If you're applying for a telecom company, do some projects which are relevant to the telecom industry. Okay, it can be a prototype project also, no problem. You don't have to do a full-fledged project, but just do a prototype. Do it all by yourself. If they ask you in-depth questions, you should be able to answer. And the common question will be, can you explain me the architecture of this project? Can you explain me how this project works? You should be able to answer it thoroughly. If somebody is going to ask like, what is it that you were facing, the challenges that you are facing, you should be able to answer this. It is very important that you answer the challenges that you are facing. You must be able to highlight that project in such a way that the interviewer is going to hear and see the resume and talk to you and ask you what's the project about, I should feel excited about the project. And it should be like, I should feel that you did really something nice. And not only that, and it should also show that you had some challenges. I mean, you tried to do something and you face this challenge, and this is how you have overcome it. It's very important for you to know all of this. Okay, that how did you overcome these challenges? So that's like the secret number two. Get some experience. How are you going to get some experience? Maybe do some internship, maybe do some practical projects in a relevant domain to which you are applying. Do something interesting. It's okay if it's a prototype, you don't have to go deep, but that is going to start some discussion, and at least there'll be some positive feedback about you. After the interviewer listens to all of your efforts, interviewer feels that okay, this guy knows something. I mean, he can write a comment that okay, this guy doesn't have relevant experience, but we can give him a try. Okay, that's how it works. The third thing, what is very important is that you should be honing your interviewing skill. I'll tell you one very important tip here. All the questions that are asked in interviews, they're always repeated. There are no original questions. Very rarely there'll be any original questions. All you have to do is just go and search for interview questions and search for the top 200 interview questions. I can guarantee you that the same questions will be asked in all the interviews. So it's so easy actually to crack any interview. The only reason why we are not passing or succeeding in an IT interview is because you're not going through that interviews questions. Just go through that. I mean, whatever topics that you know that are going to be asked, go through that questions, list down the questions, go and practice them, just answer them in front of the interviewer. Anybody for that matter, they try to get the same questions from the interview, whatever websites are there. Maybe they'll improvise it and maybe make some variations of the questions. So it depends upon where you are applying, whether you are a fresher, whether you are a developer, you have an experience, and you're a mid-career professional. Based on your career experience level, the questions will be asked. My favorite question is like, if I ask you to rate yourself on a scale of 10, how would you rate yourself? Okay, this is like the basic question I start with. Be prepared for that. Whatever skills that you're learning, at least try to be 8 out of 10. If you're 8 out of 10, then definitely you will be qualified for the interview.